So you ever see a company give away part of itself for free? That's not a meltdown, it's a spin-off, and it can unlock a ton of value. But first, I'm gonna give you a little story time. When I was younger, back in the late 80s, early 90s, I was a little kid, I used to deliver pizza for Pizza Hut. And, made good money, cash, all that stuff, but that's not really the story, I'm just rambling. One day, often enough, but I just noticed the first day, a Pepsi truck pulled up, Pepsi Food Services, and it pulled up to right in front of us, and it started unloading all the soda and the dough and all that stuff, and the pepperoni and all that, my favorite part. And that was weird. I didn't think anything of it, but I'm a kid. And then I saw it pull around to the other part of the little strip mall, and it did the same thing in Pizza Hut. I mean, with Pizza Hut with me, and then Taco Bell, and then Kentucky Fried Chicken. It had Lay's potato chips in there, everything. And I was like, that's weird. So I asked the manager. And he goes, oh yeah, Pepsi owns us. And in reality, Pepsi Food Services does our food. That's a division of Pepsi. And he goes, if I get enough promotions, I move from the general manager. And once you're GM, you actually work for Pepsi, not Pizza Hut. So I heard that. I went on my way. I never thought about it again. And we'll come back to that story in a bit. So what is a spinoff? A company takes part of its business, a division, a brand, a product line, and turns it into a separate, independent company. If you own 100 shares of the parent, you might suddenly get 10 shares of the new company for free. But what will happen is the value of your original company will drop by the value of the company. So let's say you own 100 shares at 40 of company A, and they spin off a company that's worth 10% of their value. Your shares will drop by 10% to 36, but the new company will be worth 4, say. So you've got 100 shares of the old company, 100 shares of the new company, 36 for the old, 4 for the new, but no change in value, but you now have a second company. Now, why would a company do that? Sometimes two businesses just don't belong under the same roof. One's a rocket ship, the other one's holding it back. Or they just need different leadership, different goals, different investor expectations. So I always think of that like I think with the Merrill Lynch Bank of America merger, I think it's like they don't really like each other even after 15 years, but whatever. That's not part of the story. So fast forward to 1997, big news in PepsiCo. PepsiCo was spinning off Yum brands, which owned Taco Bell, KFC, Pizza Hut, like my story said. And I was so excited because, it came to fruition. What I saw 10 years ago, which I forgot about, came true. Now the question is, why was Pepsi spinning off Yum brands, Pepsi Food Services? Because running restaurants and selling soda are two completely different games. Pepsi wanted to focus on snacks and beverages, not flipping chalupas. And Yum could finally grow its fast food empire without Pepsi's bureaucracy slowing it down. But when Pepsi spun off Yum, then called Trion, in 1997 again, Trion started out with roughly $4.4 billion in debt taken from PepsiCo's books, while Pepsi used the spin-off proceeds to clean up its own balance sheet. Because remember now, the debt, all that bad debt, I don't want to say bad debt, is on Yum's books, not Pepsi, so it cleans up the balance sheet. A lot of companies do it. If the new company can handle it, it's fine. It's a little borderline on the unethical part, but if it works, and it's not illegal. So in reality, not only did Pepsi hand over the fast food brands, it handed over the baggage too. Sorry, I make myself laugh. But Wall Street loved this. Yum grew like crazy. Pepsi doubled down on becoming a global snack and soda machine. Some other examples of this. eBay spun off PayPal, took off. GE spun off GE Healthcare. That did great. AT&T spun off Warner Media so it could merge with Discovery. Now, is there a tax impact on it? Not really, because you're not getting any value. As long as it meets certain qualifications, it's a tax-free thing. What are the risks? Sometimes the parent is just spinning off a company. You got to look at the fundamentals. Not every spinoff is a winner. Spinoffs are like corporate breakups, but when done right, both sides can come out stronger. Let's go, baby.